Hello, and thank you for joining this week's Question of the Week by the Hair Hotline. I am rha-kera Barney Sutton, the owner of the Hair Hotline and your curator for this podcast. This week's hair question talks about hair shedding. Now, we've covered hair shedding previously in our YouTube videos at the Hair Hotline, but this time we'll give you a more specified question with a more specified answer and a little bit more background information on shedding. The question is, my hair has been falling out lately. Wherever I go, pieces of hair would fall out and I don't know why. I'm really scared and I don't want it to get worse. Why does it keep falling out and how do I stop it from falling out? As a professional, when you're asked about shedding, there are a lot of different reasons for shedding and a lot of different insight you can give your client or your customer about shedding. So let's talk about a few reasons why the hair may be shedding, and let's also break down some more information that I received from the question. Our hair sheds every day. We are supposed to lose between 60 and 100 strands of hair a day, give or take. And with those strands of hair, sometimes on some days with certain hairstyles, you may lose a little bit more that day. And on some days, some hairstyles, you may lose a little less. What that means is, for example, if you wear a ponytail and you haven't taken that ponytail out in a couple days, when you do finally take that ponytail out and you decide to comb your hair, you may feel like you've lost more than your normal hair loss between those 60 and 100 strands. It's not that you've lost more. It's no matter what the hairstyle is, the hair is going to shed. So the hair just builds up, and when you finally comb it out, it can come out. Now, when we talk about the question that I was asked about hair shedding and why the hair is shedding, we need to understand different things that may have changed within the lifestyle. We need to ask more probing questions and try to come up with a definitive answer. So we start with asking questions like, have you been more stressed? Has your diet changed? Are you doing any sort of activity that you weren't doing previously? Have you been taking any sort of medications? Things like that. Now, typically when people give us those answers, they say, no, nothing's changed. And so we have to go a little bit further. So when you say nothing has changed, have you tried to lose weight? Have you noticed a difference in your mood, in your energy level? Have you noticed that you haven't been drinking as much water that you have before? Those are more probing questions that your professional will ask when you start to talk about hair shedding. You can also consider that with the weather change, sometimes your hair may dry out or it may be a little bit more oily depending on the season change because your hair kind of is adjusting itself. So when we ask those types of questions, if you have not taken any different medications, if you have not changed your eating habits, you haven't been exercising more, you have been drinking your proper amount of water, then we want to talk about your hair care regimen. Have you been getting your ends trimmed on a regular basis? Have you been using a professional brand of shampoo and conditioner? Have you been wearing hairstyles that can cause trauma to the hair, as in ponytails, braids, and things like that pull on the hair and don't and wearing those things consistently, and you're not giving your hair a break? Those things can cause more shedding. Now, when we talk about medications, there is a blog post that we have published on thehairhotline.com/blog that will tell you all types of medications and whether those have been known to cause hair loss. So certain medications like ADHD medications, thyroid medications have been known to cause hair loss. Different types of steroids and antibiotics have also been known to cause hair loss. So you want to make sure you take a look at the medications that you're on and look at the side effects of those medications and see if those are reasons why your hair has been coming out, because it may be that you're on the same medication, but maybe the dosage has changed. So you want to make sure you pay attention to those things, as I've said before. When we talk about whether our diet has changed, even if we have changed our eating habits from not eating as healthy to eating more healthy, the body goes through a change. And we have to remember that hair starts on the inside. So when we start to become more healthy, your hair is kind of pushing out those toxic follicles, those toxic hair cells, all of those things. It's pushing all those toxins out of the body, and that includes the hair. So we want to make sure that as we start to eat more healthy, we drink more water and giving our body the nourishment that it needs, that sometimes our hair may have an adverse reaction temporarily until it gets to a more healthy state. Now, we also want to remember that heredity plays a part in hair shedding or hair loss. Heredity and also certain types of autoimmune disorders and things like that, So when we talk about heredity, there is nothing that anyone can do to change heredity. So previously in our week before podcast, we talked about how when the hair is damaged, there's nothing we can do about it. It's the same thing with heredity. We cannot change heredity. If you have parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles that have hair loss at an early age, chances are your hair may start to thin around those same ages, a little bit older, sometimes a little bit sooner than they did. So when we start to notice things like that, you want to talk to your dermatologist. You also can find things that can help slow that process down. There's nothing 100% that can guarantee that you won't lose your hair like the previous people in your family have, but there are things that you can do to slow the hair follicles down from shedding. Okay. Now, when we talk about not using professional brands of shampoos and conditioners, you want to make sure that you talk to your hairstylist about what works for your hair type. Not every shampoo and conditioner is meant for every type of hair. It is also not meant for every person. So you want to talk to them about what professional brand of shampoo and conditioner that you can use that works great for you. I always try to steer people away from using over-the-counter shampoos and conditioners, though they're much better. They have much better ingredients than they have in the past. They're still not as concentrated as professional brands, so you're using a lot more to get not as much of a great benefit as you would with professional brands of shampoo and conditioner. And you aren't getting as much of your money. You're not getting as much as a money value savings as if you were to be using brands of professional brands of shampoo and conditioner. So they may be more expensive in the now, but they last you a lot longer because they have much better ingredients. They're more concentrated than over the counter shampoos and conditioners. So they last you a little bit longer. You also want to remember that your hair goes through a change every 7 years or so. Not your hair, your body goes through a change every 7 years or so. So if you're coming up around that 7-year change, your body structure may be changing, your hair could be changing, and you want to make sure you pay attention to things like that. So when we talk about hair shedding, things that you can do to see if the hair is actually shedding more. You want to take a picture of the hair. So take a picture today, right now, of how much hair comes out when you comb your hair. Then take a picture every day for about a week, and you can profile and make comparisons with how much hair is coming out. If you're noticing that it's coming out in clumps, we may need to look at different trauma that may be happening to the scalp. Maybe you're wearing tight hairstyles. Maybe you're wearing a hat a lot. Maybe you're not allowing your hair to breathe. Maybe you aren't doing proper hair care regimens, things like that. You're using too much product that is causing the hair to be suffocated and not allowing the hair to grow. You could be doing a lot of different things, and there's a lot of different ways we can go with that. But if you take a picture every day for a week, you're able to see if your hair is coming out more and more, or if maybe it's coming out, today is Monday, for example. Maybe it's coming out more today, and then Wednesday I don't get so many hair strands. So you'll be able to balance it out and see how that is. You also may want to pay attention to if in a week you're not noticing as much. Keep that picture from after your 7 days and take another picture in another 7 days and compare. Okay. Now, what we also want to pay attention to is making sure that we are tying our hair up every night. We want to make sure that we are either sleeping on a silk pillowcase, or we have a silk scarf or a silk bonnet that we're wearing every night. Now, satin is okay. Cotton I wouldn't recommend, because cotton is a fabric that tends to dry out the hair. And satin, depending on the quality or the type of satin that you're getting, it can cause more harm when wearing that. Silk is going to be the best because it's a natural fiber, and it also allows the hair to breathe while holding in and maintaining moisture for the hair and the scalp. You also want to make sure that as the seasons change, that you are using products that are balancing out the hair. For example, if you have really dry hair and it's starting to become winter, the hair is going to be a little bit more dry than normal. So we may want to use a little bit more of a heavier styling cream or oil or conditioner or whatever you use on your hair. So I hope that this was helpful to give you a little bit of insight into shedding. There are so many more ways that we can take this, and so much more. But this is just a brief introduction into shedding and different reasons why the hair may be shedding and what you can do to combat that. Thank you so much again. This is rha-kera Barney Sutton, the owner of the Hair Hotline, and I'll be giving you more hair advice. Please check us out on all social media at The Hair Hotline. Besides Pinterest, we're at Hair Hotline on Pinterest, and on YouTube at The Hair Hotline. You can follow us, go to thehairhotline.com, subscribe, do whatever you can to keep up, and we are the place for all your hair care information. Thank you so much. This is rha-kera Barney Sutton, owner of The Hair Hotline, and I thank you for joining. I thank you for listening. Please make sure you follow us on all social media at The Hair Hotline and on Pinterest at Hair Hotline. We are the place for all your hair care information. You can also visit us on thehairhotline.com for more information, more hair care products, more hair advice, more hair videos, just all things hair. Thank you so much again.